Greetings, wonderful, amazing artists. If you hear click-clacking, that is Bandit walking around. We are starting paper mache. Welcome to my kitchen of nightmares, aka art projects. So today we are starting paper mache. If you are at home, I would recommend covering the surface with like an old paper or something like that. I'm going to talk about how to make the paste and then how we're going to apply it. So you are going to need a bowl for mixing and possibly a bowl to hold your balloon on, which you'll see when we start. But first thing I would do is I would go ahead and roll up my sleeves. You are going to get messy. You are going to get glue on your hands, so you want to make sure you don't ruin your clothes. It does wash out, but just be careful. So first thing you're going to do is mix your paste. I am going to show using the art kit that I sent home. However, I did not include glue. So you have two options. If you have glue, what you're going to do, I'm going to mix this in this little butter dish. So I'm going to lower you guys so you hopefully can see. So I have this butter dish. And basically what you want to do is however much glue you put in. So let me squeeze them out hopefully. So you're going to put equal parts glue to water. So it's called a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I do this much glue, I'm going to do just a little bit of water, which I've put in this fancy container. I would go really light on the water first because it's easier to make it thicker than to make it lighter than it is to make it thicker. Because like glue is precious. So you want to make sure it's still pretty sticky. And I'm only making a really small batch. So it should be watery, but should have lots of glue. I think I might get away with just a little tiny bit more water. So, go ahead. Ooh, I think I might have done a little extra. Let's see. Yeah, I might try to do a little more glue. Like I said, if you have to experiment with your ratios a little bit until you get the right consistency, it just needs to be sticky. And I know it's hard to get glue out of the bottle. That's why I took the cap off. If you're at home and you have a fresh glue bottle, for this entire project, I would probably use maybe half of it or to here. So I'm going to stir this in. Okay, this is looking like a good consistency. So this would be if you are doing this with just regular glue. It's pretty sticky still. Kind of chunky at the bottom, so you want to try to, ooh, I'm in the splash zone. Okay, but you want to make sure that you get it all mixed in. So this is a good consistency. It's milky, but we got all my glue mixed in, and I touch it, it feels kind of slimy. So this is good. The second option that you can do, let me get one more spoon. You can do flour. So if you are doing flour, same thing. You're going to do equal parts glue, or not glue, water to flour. So I'm going to do the flour in this bowl. So I'm going to take a big scoop. Big scoop. And this is definitely a really cool way to do paper mache. So there's my flour. The only downside to using flour is that eventually it will rot. So, I mean, to turn in for art class, you'll be good. But if you want to keep this mask forever, it's not going to be the best thing. Alright, so I have a little bit, but I'm getting kind of like a really thick cookie dough. And that's not what we want. We want kind of like pancake batter. So we're going to add more water to this. And mix it out, hopefully. We want it to be thick, but not too thick. And you want to try to mix out any of the lumps. Because the lumps are chunks of flour that are holding the dry together. And so it won't stick onto your piece. Hopefully y'all can see this. My lighting's kind of funky, so it doesn't show up beautifully on screen. But I'm hoping y'all can kind of get the idea. Alright, so this is perfect. So it's just kind of like soupy pancake batter. I don't have any lumps. I've gotten it all mixed in. So these are the two types you can do. This is with glue. This is with flour. Now, for our masks, we are using balloons as our big shape. And I like to have a bowl to kind of set the balloon in, or like a plastic cup. I'm going to inflate the balloon. I'm going to do kind of a small one, just so y'all can see for the sample. Ooh, Bandit does not like this guy. Okay. And I'm going to just use that bowl to hold my balloon. And the first thing I'm going to do is take one of those paper strips. So old newspaper works best, but if you have old homework assignments, that also works. Bandit, get down. So like old math that you don't need, like notebook paper or old printer paper works too. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a paper strip. You're going to dip it down into your glue solution. And I'm going to get the whole strip wet. And then I take it out. And when I'm holding it up, I take my fingers and kind of slide it down the paper strip to get off the excess glue. And then Bandit, I'm going to lay it across my balloon. Now this part is tricky. If it's not sticking, you got to make sure you get a little more of the glue. And then you have to use your hands to smooth it out. This is just the base for our masks, so we want to make it smooth. If you have a mask that's only the top or only the bottom, sorry about Bandit, guys. But if you have a mask that's only the top half or the bottom half, I would just do half of the balloon. But I am going to, again, same thing I'm going to show in the flour mixture too. See, it starts to turn when it has a little weight on it. So here's my flour mixture. I'm going to dip into it. And same thing, I'm going to pull off a little bit, flip, use my fingers, scrape off a little bit. Super messy, I know, it's crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and just press that onto the balloon. You want to give it a minute to dry, but if it's really wet, you can take more paper pieces and just kind of lay them on top. And then use your finger maybe to spread some of the glue on there. So we're doing our bases first. We're going to do the bases for the first 2 days. You want to make sure these are strong and sturdy and are smoothed out so that when you start building your face, it's going to be successful. So, I have to go down here. Welcome to Paper Mache, guys. It's going to be a messy, fun day today. Make sure that you are careful if you are at home, you know, respect your parents' area and maybe go, you can do this outside if you'd like, or just protect your table. But this is what we are going to be working on this week. I cannot wait to see us get started. Good luck!